Welcome to another episode of Jasmine Gunn Entertainment. Thank you so much for joining me. Today I have a special guest here with me. He is a personal trainer and he's also creator of MVP Fitness, an online coaching program. Welcome, Mikey Pazz.
Thanks very much for having me.
I actually met Mikey a few years ago and he did have a shoulder reconstruction.
Yeah. So we actually did a photo shoot and because I was so out of shape at the time and she wanted to use my tattoos, but I was like, oh, okay, I'm sweet with that. But by that point, I think I was 1 month away from my shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
And so after that, of course, I gained a whole heap of, negative weight. But yeah, it was part of the process to basically, which is what we were saying prior. It sort of allowed me to conjure up a lot of negative emotion, but I used it as positive emotion, which is exactly what MVP Fit is all about.
And what does MVP Fit stand for?
So MVP Fit itself, obviously, it's a personal training brand or a fitness brand, but it's channels through the personal development industry. And what I mean by that is anybody that's into personal development, any form of personal development should be regarding their health and fitness in some sort of way, because it's the only way to increase quality and duration of life. So MVP Fit itself is about recognizing and identifying that you are the most valuable player in your life, but it also stands for motivation, visualization, and production. And these 3 steps basically go into how to set a goal, how to stick to the goal, and how to achieve it. So if you think about the typical person, everybody's got motive or motivation towards something they seek from life, but the thing that stops them is belief. So the tool I used was visualization, and you can use that in different forms. So I'd say meditation as well as thinkitation, which is part of visualization, reinforcing the same visualization over and over again until I subconsciously started believing. And then when I started believing that, that's when, the only thing that separates you from really, really extracting it into reality is the production of action. So that's where I started piecing together MVP, which was literally in my recovery process. And I found business-wise, my physique-wise, as well as the relationships, everything that I have now, as well as where it's going, is all a byproduct of using and recycling that MVP concept.
So online, your business would have taken off so much during COVID because that was the only outlet or the only way we could get into our fitness journeys. It was all online.
100%. And don't get me wrong, start of COVID period, it smacked everyone in the face, but especially being in the fitness industry, like all gyms shutting, it's like, wow, I've kind of felt like everything I worked to up to that point was, human emotions is one thing that none of us can really completely 100% control. We can only get better at. So I curled up in a ball for 3 days and, basically was trying to think, how do I get past this? Because we were told that gyms weren't open till September.
Yeah.
Then after 3 days, I was like, you know what? 2 different ways to look at it. There's a negative way and a positive way. And I'm like, now I've actually got the time to do everything that I wanted to do that I didn't have time for when I was just pumping sessions in my business. And basically that's where we started setting up so I am half Taiwanese, so I speak Mandarin or Chinese as well. So we started setting up our systems basically for the Asian market as well as the English speaking market. We've got projects on the go. Some of them I can mention, some of them I still can't mention. But basically all these projects, obviously I had my initial dreams were always taking MVP to a larger crowd so I can impact and influence. I planned that 2020 would be the year that I basically piece together MVP's full potential. MVP's success, not in the monetary sort of way. Money, I always look at it as a byproduct of what you can apply or give to someone. And so through transformation, what we're able to impact and influence people with, we basically put together all the systems. And like I said, the some of the projects that we can't mention right now is literally going to help us reach such big and vast crowds, especially post-COVID.
The whole fact is, what you were saying before, is seeing is believing. So for you or for a person to picture their ultimate fitness goal, I guess it's the process of seeing that you can get there and having that positive network or support network, which is what
100%.
MVP gives
Exactly.
your clients.
So with MVP, I teach them the concept of it first, how they can recycle it. then I reinforce their belief with a game plan that is completely and specifically designed around what they need, what they've done in the past with training and nutrition, what they're currently doing, their current strength ability, their current body composition. And then it's basically programmed in a way where if they execute the progressive steps I design, they basically get inch closer week by week, compound their micro goals into their overall transformation.
Great.
And so every step of the way, it's more like I always say, within a 2-week period, I can show clients results.
Wow,
and
that's amazing.
And that's what I want them to do. When they see that 2 weeks, I want them to use a V for visualization.
Yeah.
Learn how to compound that visual aspect of it. See what you've done in 2 weeks and do it across 3 months. Just see it first. In this 21st century, we're just processing so much on a daily basis. We've got to remember what's important.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we do forget about that. We've got the influences of media. We only see the good things. People only want to post the good things in life, but we have
100%.
to understand that we all go through hardships, and we do need to remind ourselves it's normal to have those bad days, and it's good to have supportive outlets or people to help you smash those goals.
100%. I've got a whole heap of clients that have just started up post-COVID. Obviously, whatever conjured and built up, compounded negatively in that time, I'm teaching them, like what I said, in my time of recovering from my surgery, I use that in a positive way. It was a negative thing, but I use it in a positive way. At the end of the day, you cannot dwell in what you cannot control.
Correct.
And the fact is, time is going to pass regardless. So you either use that time, exercise that time, and that the byproduct of that time and what you're able to extract out of it is literally how you're able to apply this, how you're able to look in different, there's 2 different directions, negative, positive.
Yeah, I agree.
So
the mind is such a powerful tool. The body is so capable of doing things. You know, I personally use running as my outlet. That's I don't lift weights or anything, which is where I need to ask you for some tips later on, because I don't do anything but run. But that's my outlet. And, you know, I think that everyone needs an outlet in life. And as down as you might feel, you've always got an outlet or a form of physical exercise that you can use to get you through the harder days.
100%. And my thing is strength training. At the end of the day, I look at, and the only reason, whatever makes someone move and is able to increase that quality aspect in terms of health and fitness, like I'm all for that. That's already better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
So my hat goes off for that, you know. At the end of the day, life's a process. You're not going to get nothing overnight.
Yeah, correct. And we have to remind ourselves that nothing's going to happen with the snap or the click of our fingers. We have to put some work into it to get the results.
Which is MVP. P is for production. You know, it's the work aspect. At the end of the day, a lot of people, and this is the thing, what we were saying before, social media. You think about Instagram. Instagram was literally designed so people post the best part of their day. But if someone is literally looking at all these people that are, you know, the best part of the day makes them look successful as they, you know, whatever images with other fast cars that aren't even theirs, places they're renting for the weekend, how's that going to make them feel? Especially how distant they are from their actual goals, because they don't understand. They don't believe it. But they're seeing these other people doing it and they're just putting themselves in the bracket of, oh man, what's wrong with me? You know?
Yeah.
So MVPs, like, I want people to understand, first and foremost, learn in an environment, in an infrastructure that is within their control, which is your own health and fitness, your own body, as well as that, how you can change your personal relationship with your identity. Yeah. And there's 2 forms that goes into that as well. How you literally see yourself, but then also learning the values, the attributes, the morals, and how your characteristic literally changes when you start disciplining yourself and applying yourself to the progressive steps that you need to execute. In terms of what I mean by that, say for instance, in my line of work is like training program or dieting. You know, like if they're hitting both of them, you're going to accelerate your progress. You know, your acceleration of your progress is only personal to you. You can't compare it to anyone else. But then if you're applying your training program 100%, you're going where you need to go, you're doing what you need to do, and your dieting is 100%, you're accelerating at 100% of your progress, your accelerated speed. Yeah. You lack 50% on one side and 100% on the other side. That's a 75%. Yeah. You lack both 50%. That's really 50%, you know. But what people got to understand is your journey. Don't compare to others.
Your clients, are they from all different walks of life, or
Yeah,
are you
so
finding you've got a demographic, a particular demographic?
I've actually started signing online clients from America just recently. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, big,
States.
reaching out from over there. So,
amazing.
but honestly, they're all walks of life. I got a lot right now. I got a lot more male clients, and when I say a lot more, it's not actually a lot more.
Yeah.
But obviously, me being male, that's always going to be, males are always going to, come to a male trainer first and foremost. But my family's, half of them are female, and I've got them on program, and they're hitting goals. Like at the end of the day, it's the male and female side, and the difference between both of them. There's not much difference, except women have to look after themselves more.
Yeah.
A lot of females, I teach them how to change inside out.
Yeah.
Guys are the same, inside out. It's always inside out. It's always looking after about the inside, health and fitness wise, literally, and your physical appearance just starts changing. It's a funny thing.
I like this.
Whereas, I don't like where the fitness industry has gone, where it's outside in. And this is, I've got nothing against people that train competitively for bodybuilding or powerlifting, and steroids is a big part of that. But a lot of kids these days, they try to change outside in terms of they use these substances that they have no clue what ingredients go in there, and they're happily juggling it with drinking every single weekend. Health and fitness wise, they're literally chipping off years and years off their lives.
I know. I've heard of like the risks involved with steroid use, and there are so many young people using them.
And the thing is, they're not even competitive. They're solely for external gratification, like what other people think. So that's why MVP, I very much separated the essence and the substance behind it. It's about you loving yourself, but loving the journey that you were able to achieve yourself. Yeah. Setting more goals after that. Not giving a can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Not giving a fuck about what other people think. At the end of the day, it's your journey, and what you're going to be able to achieve on the other side, you won't want to stop. And that's the thing. When these young kids, they hit substances and they drink every weekend, they hate the process. They're literally feeling shit inside. Post-cycle depression. And that's the thing. I've never personally touched steroids as much as other people in Brisbane want to say that I have. I made my transformation pretty quick, but it's because I was disciplined to the training aspect and the dieting aspect. Yeah. And, a lot of people like to jump to conclusions. Hey, I'm not externally influenced. I'm internally influenced.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, there was a time in my life that I was very open to it, and I want, because I was being influenced at those young ages. And if there's any young people, especially you fellas, that are going to tune into this, just know you don't need that first and foremost. And
there's a natural way to do it, which is what Mikey's purpose is, and it's helping people on their journey. And it does take baby steps, but if you can see yourself being that healthier version of you, you're going to get there. You're going to smash those goals. You don't need to resort to drugs. Exactly.
It's basically looking in two lenses. One lens is short-term gratification. If you think of any alcoholic, any drug addict, even steroid users, they want that quick result. But if you can apply yourself to a plan that actually works, and you chip off at the progressive steps day in, day out, does not matter how long it takes, but you stay incessant on the fact that you're going to achieve the goal, that long-term gratification will set off fireworks in your head once you achieve it. I can guarantee it. I speak from someone that used to love drinking. That was my go-to. And, even when I used to live in Melbourne, I was very unhealthy. I used to smoke cigarettes. And it's all about, what you think you want or need in your head straight away, but you don't really. It's just your mind playing tricks on you. And taking control and understanding that there is a 10%, there is a 90%, your conscious, subconscious mind. How to take control of that. How to take control, obviously conscious mind will be the easiest to take control, but how that rewires your subconscious, and you literally start changing your habits and rituals. Learn about yourself and learn to increase that self-respect through long-term gratification. And, at the end of the day, I still love having a drink. Last night, I had a few wines going out to dinner.
So it's balance.
It's balance. And what MVP is all about is the increase of quality, but more importantly, being around for longer, the increase in duration of life. Yeah. You have to balance it. And it's like, I constantly think back to those 2 years I was in Melbourne, as well as, you know, all my young years or younger years. There's a lot of drinking. There wasn't much value for long-term gratification, and I often think how many years did I possibly shave off my life then? It's a very confronting thought, but if your mind it wants to go in a positive direction, you have to confront it. So you have to come to terms with the fact that, you know, the only way, and the truth is, it feels amazing. Like, I feel awesome on a daily basis. You know, I'm strong. Everything's easy to move around me, but because I know what it was like to make that transformation first and foremost, I never want to stop.
Everything in balance. There are going to be your temptations out there, which will bring me to my next question. How do you deal with like, I've got sugar cravings. What can you tell of our viewers? How do we curb, or how do we steer around or deal with particular cravings in life, whether it be sugar, or some people might have their vices being cigarettes? How do you help your clients with these issues?
Okay.
I call it an issue because I've got a sugar issue.
If it's dietary wise, in terms of sugar, like, I've got a lot of clients, they love that sort of stuff. So I basically give it in moderation. Yeah. It's a part of their diet. They have gummy bears in their diet. They have Cocoa Pops as breakfast, you know.
Yeah.
That's their...
So you let them
No, 100%, but
yeah.
I can still control and balance their diet out. And at the end of the day, sustainability is your long-term success. If you can't even make it sustainable and find a medium, you ain't going to stick to it. If I put someone on brown rice, broccoli and chicken day in, day out, and they've never had that, they've loved eating out, do you think about how long they're going to last? You know what I mean? So it's about setting, that's what I mean, progressive steps that are designed specifically for them.
Yeah. So I like it. Mikey is, well, I'm now finding out that you're really pinpointing each client's needs and their dietary habits, and you're customizing each program for
100%.
them.
There's no two people in the same in this world. There should never be the same program for two people. Yeah. There's a lot of online programming going around that says custom, but it's very generic.
Oh, I've witnessed, because I work in the beauty and health industry myself, and we have done the body scans, the 360 body scans, and there's dietary requirements there. Not saying there's anything negative, but I've noticed that it was the same dietary recommendations for each bracket of clientele, and there was probably 3 brackets of clientele with different goals they wanted to achieve. And so that's why I thought, well, you know, how can I give my clients more information? I'm not a nutritionist, but, you know, in your field, clients would be coming to you for more advice.
And 100%. And the thing is, even as a personal trainer, we have different rules that we can't sort of exploit, especially not having a nutrition degree or anything like that. So I let my clients tell me what they like to eat.
Yeah.
You know, I spend my screening and consultation process with each client is, you know, around an hour.
Yeah.
So, and that's going into me asking questions the whole time.
Yeah.
And basically in the last little bit, I spend another hour on it programming it myself.
Yeah.
But that's why the specifics go into, if it's not specific to them, they're just not going to stick to it. And my thing is about succeeding, transforming. I'm in the industry of transformation. I want them to succeed. I have an emotional attachment if they have an emotional attachment to their goal.
With diet, there's so many diet fads out there.
Diets all have a certain purpose, and I don't generally put anyone on a ketogenic diet or an intermittent fasting diet unless they specifically ask for it. And the only reason why is because we're trying to achieve optimal health here. And optimal health is increased muscle, decreased body fat. You know, and through increased muscle, decreased body fat, especially with a lot of the approaches that I use, it's about achieving homeostasis, the balance within the body first and foremost, so the body can change. It's a standard system, okay, and a value system. Every human being has it, hence why some value their health and fitness, some don't. Some value, you know, making money, but they completely forget about their health and fitness. So, you know, those rich but fat billionaires, you know, like, and their standard system is completely whack. Happiness is about keeping everything in balance. 100%. So, well, you have to realize, okay, is life really important to you? And young people, this is the hardest part to understand. Because you're so young, you feel full of energy. You know, you can literally wake up the next morning after a massive night out of drinking and still feel fine. You know, you'll find that slowly starts creeping up, but it also starts playing with your head. Like, you start realizing, oh, it's been 20 years I've been doing this for. I'm really feeling it now. You got health problems and all this sort of stuff. That decreased quality of life is only going to lead to the decreased duration of life. And if that's really important, that part of the thing for me was I valued life, especially when things started turning out extremely positive and going in the direction where my efforts were directed. That's like, okay, I'm in control. These things, these short-term gratifications don't control me.
Surround yourself with good people as well.
That's a big...
People are going to bring you up and not bring you down.
100%.
I think that's a really important aspect to get through life in general.
Exactly. In MVP, we have 3 components that lead to happiness. Okay, and these 3 are literally, so career and finance, how you make your money. And if you don't like how you make your money, that's 70% of your time. Okay, so we love what we do, so that aspect, adds a lot of satisfaction, a lot of positive quality to our lives. Secondly is relationships. So relationships being the people, the friends and family that actually support you, that don't try to pull you away from what you want to do. I know when I said I want to be an online personal trainer, I had a lot of friends and family say otherwise against it, simply because they didn't believe. But it was never for them to believe. It was always for me to believe. Yeah. Now they're like, wow, Mikey's actually doing it. And the third thing is, which is very important, because you can't really live the other 2 without this third one, which is your health and fitness, the increased quality and duration of your life. If these 2 are in check, why would you want your life to be short and shit? You know what I mean? So it's like, enjoy it with the best. You have energy on a daily basis, and if your career is awesome and you have great people around you, think about that. I've literally got goosebumps like talking about it, and it's literally like, it's so transformative.
The amount of knowledge you learn. So even what I picked up today, when we chat, I listen and I'm like, wow, I'm going to incorporate or implement that method of thinking into my way of life.
Yeah.
And it's good to listen and take things on board, because I think there's a lot of people out there, they just look at media and they think, well, that's going to happen to me if I do it like that. But they don't know the journey that person's been through to get there.
100%, which is why use social media as a tool.
Yeah.
Obviously use it as a good tool. 100%. I would not be able to impact and influence on the level I am now, as well as where my overall goal with MVP is going, without it. But it's only a tool. Yeah. Don't live your life by it.
That's it.
And your social media is never and should never be used in the way of you living in your head and letting these other people that are on social media make you feel a certain way about yourself.
If you scroll across someone that you're following, like an influencer that you find doesn't have a good internal effect on your current state of feelings, don't be afraid to delete them or unfollow them, because your goals aren't far away. With people like Mikey, they're like footsteps away.
100%. Post-COVID is one of these things where it's insane that it happened to the whole world. We have never had an event like this ever. And look, the conspiracies behind it is a different thing, but what it's left people with is either... There's 2 certain types of people, and this does not mean, I don't direct this in a negative way. There's people that either fell into their typical and natural emotions, which is, treat it as a holiday or a time off. There's other people that exercise it and use their time valuably. Regardless, it's like the ones that have exercised and used it productively, they're still going. Now, my thing is like, you guys that... might feel shit about yourself right now because you're looking back like, I didn't do nothing over that period. It's not too late. It's not the end of the world. At the start of COVID, we're like, oh damn, is this the end of the world? It's not. Look, we're still here. So yeah, exactly. So we're still here.
Mikey can help make it happen.
100%. And then the first step, it starts with, it takes 2 to tango. So you have to make a conscious decision and an active decision, a real decision. And where I help is I'll reinforce that motive with belief through a game plan. I just want them to understand I assisted with that.
That's it. It's all about you helping assist them
in
their goals and making it happen, which they've made happen. It's up to you to, take that knowledge on board and utilize it in a positive way, because it's at the end of the day, it's you doing it. It's you getting up out of bed, making that bed, doing those things that you do during the day that make you feel good, and then it snowballs. So those little feel good emotions, they're going to carry on if you stick to the plans
100%.
That the professionals give you.
Most valuable player, if you just recognize and conduct yourself in the way of you are the most valuable player in your life, and you do that on a daily basis, you'll be amazed what you're able to achieve. What I want people to understand, that this philosophical, this euphoric side is what you guys got to tie yourself and bound yourself to. And just know wherever you are in your life right now, everything can change. But like Jazz said, it's micro steps. You can only compound these micro steps into something incredible. And at the end of the day, be the most valuable player in your life.
There you go. You're number one at the end of the day. So you can't give out 100% to other people if you're not looking after yourself 100%. So
exactly. And let someone like myself do the scientific side of things and balance macros and all.
Mikey make your life easy.
You just recognize that, you know, as human beings, there's that emotional, euphoric and philosophical side, and just know we all deserve better if we want better.
That's it.
So
there you go. Well, thank you so much.
No worries.
If any of you do want to hear more from Mikey, you can comment below and tell you about his personal journey a bit more in depth, how he took the negative and made it something positive, and now look at him. He's on top of the world.
Anybody can do it.
And anyone can do it.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much. Subscribe below and have an awesome day. Jasmine Gun Entertainment. Thank you, Mikey Pazz.
Thank you for having me.